Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 103. Crazy. And we're going to talk about the ultimate question today, which is what is happening to my body? This is a question that I know a lot of us as chronic illness warriors, those of you struggling with chronic symptoms, tend to have this question pop up. I also see it very commonly in my practice as well. When my clients see me, they're often very frustrated and confused and overwhelmed, and they don't understand what is going on with their body because they keep experiencing symptoms, even though they're doing the right things. So before we get into it, I'm going to do a quick life update. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been launching my new offer called the Healing Intensive as a part of my birthday, which was on February 19th. And so over the past week, I've been seeing so many clients in this intensive session where we're diving into the nervous system and the root causes and the mindset, which we'll talk a little bit about today as well, because it's relevant to the topic. And it's really interesting to see, and I want to share this with you guys, that a lot of us go through similar things as like a collective, meaning when someone's experiencing something, if you're experiencing something, just know that you're not alone in feeling the way that you're feeling. A lot of people are going through a mindset, emotional, trauma healing journey at the moment, and people are experiencing symptoms, right? Whether it's from that or from their diet or from making changes to their lifestyle, whatever it is. I can see that a lot of people are experiencing this journey, not just alone, even though it can feel like you're doing this alone, but just remember that it's not. I can also see the shift in people who are coming into this intensive because they know that there are a lot of things to work on that might be missing for them, which is why they booked the call with me. And as a result, they're seeing so many changes already and feeling just more empowered and better about their journey, better about their health and their symptoms. And I encourage you, if you haven't already, to book a call with me so you can also feel like you have more clarity when it comes to your healing. I've actually opened up 2 more spots inside the Healing Intensive. The session is going to be perfect for you if you're someone who is feeling a little bit stuck with your root causes. But what's more important is that you're noticing that maybe nervous system dysregulation is one of your root causes and you're wanting support when it comes to mindset. We'll be diving deep in the first half of the session. And in the last half, that's where we'll dive into your medical history. I'll conduct a clinical assessment and we'll look into more of the diet and supplements and your protocol to figure out what exactly is contributing to your symptoms. We're going to officially close enrollment for the Healing Intensive at the end of this week. So make sure you secure your spot, only 2 spots left. And I would love to do a deep dive on your journey and help you move forward in your healing. Okay, without further ado, let's get into today's episode, which is what is happening to my body? The overarching question, ultimate question, the reoccurring thought that you might be consistently having is what the frick is going on with my body? When it comes to dealing with chronic symptoms, it's very frustrating and confusing because it feels like one moment you are healing and the next moment you're not because you're experiencing the symptoms over and over again in your healing journey. And with traditional way of managing symptoms is when you go to the doctor, they're going to give you medication, you take it, and typically your symptoms would resolve right away, right? Because that's what medications do. It treats and it's very effective. However, on your natural healing journey, holistic healing journey, it's not like that. You cannot change your diet and you cannot take a bunch of supplements and see the same fast healing you would see with taking medication. That is just the reality when it comes to healing naturally. Now, I want you to remember when you feel like your body is against you or you feel like your body's out of control, is to remember that you want to look at your body as a whole system. And we're not just looking at the isolated symptoms that you're experiencing. Using an example or an analogy of a house. When you have a house that is built well, you need to have a concrete foundation before you start building the frames and the windows and the roof. So you can't expect a house to be a house without setting the foundations. If you built a roof without having the frames, the roof is going to collapse. If you start adding frames into the land with no concrete, it's going to fall apart, right? Same thing when it comes to your body and your healing. You can start taking all the supplements and eating a really healthy diet, But if there's no foundation, whether that is the mindset, the nervous system, maybe you're not very clear with your root causes, that diet that you're on, those supplements that you're on, isn't going to be as effective as you want it to be. I want you to really think about your body as a whole system, different parts that we have to consider. When you understand more of your body from a holistic perspective, then you'll start to realize, okay, I understand what is happening to my body now, and you're either going to accept it or have less resistance as to what is happening. Your body is a very, 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 very powerful biological machine. It knows how to survive. It knows how to breathe. It's trying to keep you alive in this world. It's trying to heal you every hour, every minute, every second of the day. You're not meant to come into this world for your body to suffer, right? We are meant to adapt to the environment, to adapt to the diets and the supplements, given that they make sense for our bodies to achieve optimal health as long as we give it what it needs. However, during the process of doing these things and healing your body from certain conditions, you're going to notice flares and symptoms throughout. And this is why you have to really think about what your root causes might be. And I know that's like the ultimate question as well. It's like, what are my root causes? I don't know. Right. And this is why having a practitioner assess your case will save you time, save you stress, save you money, honestly, because you've probably spent a lot of money already just throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure it out. You can actually save yourself a lot of that from someone just figuring out the root causes for you, who's actually trained and experienced. And when you know your root causes, let's just talk about like the common ones: gut imbalance, nervous system dysregulation, an overworked liver, nutrient deficiencies, hormonal imbalance. Let's just use those 5 because those are the most common ones that we see in practice. When there's these root causes going on, you are going to experience symptoms in any shape, way, or form. And so the question is, what is happening to my body? Okay, what is happening is your body is just communicating with you that there is some sort of imbalance. Instead of fighting against it and questioning what's going on, what's happening, I don't understand. It's like, okay, you actually do understand what's going on. You guys are knowledgeable. That's why you're listening to this podcast and listening to me talk about this. You guys know that your body is just trying to rebalance itself. It's trying to reach homeostasis again by healing those root causes. But of course, when you don't understand what your root causes are, you are going to have that question of what the fuck's going on? Why is it not working? Why am I not healing? What is happening? That's the first thing I want you guys to really reflect on is like, do you know your root causes? Are you addressing them in the way that's effective and not just guessing and throwing spaghetti at the wall? Start from there. And that will help you a lot in answering this constant question of what is happening to my body. Because when you know your root causes, you understand why your body is experiencing these symptoms. Now, of course, once you know your root causes and you know that you're doing all the things to address those root causes, the healing process, like I mentioned in the beginning, can be really confusing, right? Symptoms get worse when you're doing the right things. You are eating so healthy, you're taking the root cause supplements, you're practicing nervous system regulation, but you're still noticing bloating, you're still feeling constipated, you're still noticing eczema flares. These symptoms happen. And something to remember is that your body needs to kind of go through these cycles of healing and flaring and symptoms before they get better. As you are making changes to your diet, changes to your supplements, changes to your lifestyle, maybe at the forefront, you don't actually feel or see the difference. Let's say for you, healing means you have to see it on your skin. First of all, I want you to detach from that outcome because defining your healing from what your skin looks like is not a good measurement. We need to just get rid of that. Stop defining healing equals what you see. That is inaccurate, that's false information, and we need to remove that out of our minds because that is gonna drive you freaking crazy. If you notice bloating, you notice constipation, you see that as not healing, then you're going to drive yourself into a hole and feel like you're never healing. That's one thing I wanna mention is to stop tying your healing based on how you feel and your physical symptoms. I know it's easier said than done, but it makes a world of a difference. When your body is adjusting to the changes you're making, There's going to be microbiome changes. There's going to be effects on the liver. There's going to be effects on the gut. There's going to be effects on your nervous system. So you're going to notice symptoms. You're going to experience setbacks. And that's just part of your body healing and adjusting to all the things that you're doing. So instead of being like, why is it not working and what's happening to my body? It's like, maybe tell yourself, okay, I'm making a lot of changes right now. I need to honor that, first of all. I also need to accept that symptoms are going to come up, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. It's part of the process. It's part of your body adapting to the changes. Okay, I'm going to use another example, and I hope this example is relatable. Think about when you buy a new pair of shoes, right? It's gonna hurt when you first try to break them in. You're getting these freaking blisters, your heels are bleeding, it's like cutting into your foot. You have to break them in a few times, maybe even more. I have a pair of shoes that I've worn so many times and it's been a couple months now and it still kind of hurts my feet, but it's gotten so much better than it has in the beginning. But it took time for my body to adjust to my new pair of shoes. I needed to wear them more often. I needed to walk around in them more often. I needed my feet to adjust to the shape of the shoe so that it doesn't cut up my feet. But all of this took time. Now, those same pair of shoes that you couldn't wear in the very beginning because it hurt so much, now you have no problem wearing them. You don't get blisters anymore. You don't get pain. You don't get cuts. You don't have to wear Band-Aid anymore on your heel, right? That took time. Similarly to your healing journey, you're doing all these things to heal your chronic symptoms. It's going to take time. At first, you're going to have that blister. At first, you're going to have that cut. At first, you're going to have these symptoms, but over time, it gets better. And so instead of questioning and doubting, because that's really what it is when you're questioning what is happening to my body, why is it not doing what I wanted it to do? Why does it feel out of control? That is a lot of pressure on your body when it is already doing its best to heal you. So let's take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and honor the fact that it's doing its best to heal you. Remember, instead of the question, what is happening to my body, maybe you want to reframe that to what is happening for my body. And so to recap this episode, I want you to reflect on this question, what is happening to my body? And try and understand it from a scientific level, looking at the root causes, looking at the gut-skin connection, gut-brain connection, nervous system dysregulation, all of those root causes, which, by the way, I talk a lot about in my other episodes. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely check it out. But think about your root causes. If you know them, are you addressing them? Are you doing what you need to do to heal them? And also understand that your body is just communicating with you through symptoms and it's doing its best to heal you, which will take time and adjusting to the changes. And lastly, I want you to think about your mindset when it comes to this as well. Instead of having the mindset of what is happening and what's going on, I don't understand, it's leaning into the power of trusting your body. That's what it is, right? If you trusted your body fully, you wouldn't question, you wouldn't doubt, you would just know with certainty. I want you to approach your healing with that. Approach your healing with certainty and trust that it's doing what it needs to do to heal. And we don't have to question it. We can give it what it needs and call it a day. If you found this episode helpful, I would appreciate it so much if you could leave us a review on Apple iTunes or Spotify. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We release weekly videos to help you with healing inflammation naturally. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and rest of your night, and we will catch you in the next episode.